Now, I don't have much interest in politics. Well, maybe a bit more now, the way things are going. But I noticed that Donald Trump said something. Now, I'm English. I live in England. So I don't really know much about Donald Trump. But I watch stuff from what's going on. And he said something which I found quite interesting. He said, nobody seems interested anymore. I think he's referring to some payments that were being made to people that were dead, thousands of dollars and stuff. Somebody just not on the case. And it kind of rung a bell with me because I thought some of the things I see with workers around in the UK, and I'm thinking they don't seem interested. I mean, I kind of understand it. I guess some jobs are boring, and the first job I did was, I was a driver, but I quite like driving and I quite like the trucks and stuff, so I don't know. But I look around sometimes, I think, see people on their phones and fiddling about with this and that, and I think, they don't seem to be interested, really. However, you might be wondering, what on earth has that got to do with this microphone that I've got here? I'll put this to one side. I'm about to review this mic. I've had it for a while. I did the unboxing a while ago, but I was looking through this, and I thought, wow, these people, AKG, at least certainly this era, they were interested in their product. I thought it was great. Going to move down a bit here. It's 3 languages, but the English here, they've got the features rather. Tells you about the features of the mic. It's got a description of it. Construction shows you various instruments and how it would affect on the polar pattern. Lots more as it goes on. Tells you about the acoustic design, the frequency response. We're not finished. Shows you about securing the mic cable, because you can there's a screw there, so you can lock effectively the cable in. Goes on to tell you about applications, about the human voice that it's designed for, the angle of incidence. It says this, which is quite interesting, because I've been saying this actually for a while, but they're saying it before me here. It says, don't sing directly into any microphone. If you do, it will not only pick up excessive breath noise, but also cause sibilance. It's better to sing to one side of the microphone or over its head, which if you look at my microphone technique videos, I've been saying, to reduce the pops, rather than singing like that. The mouth is here. You can sing like that, so the main blast goes there, but the frequencies are unaffected. Check out my videos about that. So fascinating to say they've got that there. Great. Tells you about the proximity effect, handling feedback and so on. That goes on there. The English one is in the centre. Different languages, I would say. About room reverberation, all sorts of advice, equalisation on the mixer, background vocals if there's 2 of you, how to position it. It tells you about if you're using it for picking up a flute, because the sound comes out of different places with a flute, as you may know. Well, it just goes on. It tells you about saxophone if you're using it for saxophone. My goodness me. Harmonica. It says it's well suited to harmonica because of the shape of this. It's can fit it quite well, so it says. I don't play harmonica, but some of you do. Goes on for guitar, steel string. Carries on there in the centre. Tells you here about the wiring. Le câblage. I won't have a go at that one. That's German, I assume. It actually shows you, it's got a wiring diagram in there. It goes on about how to connect it, etc., etc. Microphone care, which is really just about wiping it down, a few other bits and bobs. And there are the specifications. And finally, which I shall be using in the review, specifications in English, 40 to 20 kilohertz. And finally, the charts, which I shall be copying this and using it in the review and dimensions and so on and so forth. Yeah. Well, I've got to say, I'm impressed. back in the day, I don't know when this was, 80s or something, that obviously just gives me the feeling that they're proud and they're interested. I'm sure the engineers and so on will be interested because you've got to design it and everything, but the marketing department or the people that took the trouble to do this seem to be interested. Somebody thought about it. Let's include the flute. Let's include this. Let's include that little bit about singing to the side. Let's include lots of useful, nice stuff. Yeah. So I'm very impressed with that. And I'll crack on tomorrow, I think, with reviewing the mic itself.